Okay, so welcome to What If Deku was. I'm either gonna put abandoned or transfer to another world. I don't know which, I'm just gonna choose later. So, let's get straight into this. So, a little backstory. So, Inko's a bitch. I usually put Inko as a bitch when I'm putting stuff like this. Inko is a very kind person. I am not saying that she's mean. She is a very kind, loyal, and I would want her as a mother. And nobody can change anything about it. So, Inko only married Hisashi. She's technically a bitch and a gold digger. There. Only married him for the money. And she only wanted a kid so her kid could get money for her. So, Inko really didn't care about how Hisashi looked. So, on the day that... I almost said my little brother's name. On the day that Inko had her child, Izuku, she absolutely didn't like him at all, because he looked more like his father than her. So Hisashi is a white blue-haired man, tall man. Inko is a light green-haired. I don't know how the genes would work, but Izuku ended up with light blue hair, like his father, and blue eyes. So when he was... Am I recording? I want to make sure. Yes. So when Izuku was... he was spoiled by his father, and didn't really get taken care of that much by his mother, but still a little, because she was like, well, if I take care of him for his life, he's gonna have to give me money and all that. So when Izuku's fourth I should move this back. On Izuku's 4th birthday, he was found out that he was quirkless. And all that. Inko was furious, absolutely pissed at how much he is worthless to her. Hisashi figured out that Inko was just with him for the gold, and found out that Inko was cheating with him for a richer man. That man figured out as well, and they both broke up with Inko. Inko has thousands of money, and paid off her friend. So one day, Inko was taking Izuku, which was that actually Approximately about 3 hours later, Inko brought Izuku to her friend, asked her friend if she could teleport Izuku somewhere in the world because she has a teleporting ability, but her side effect is she doesn't know where they are teleported to. And Inko was fine with that. Her friend could teleport somebody to another planet to just 5 feet away. So, Izuku got teleported and woke up. Yes, he was asleep. Woke up in a different area, in a forest. Now, Inko took literally almost everything away from him. So what she did was she gave him clothes that were torn up and it was ripped, like everywhere. I don't think you could, I think in your eyesight, if you just look at a certain spot, you could see 5 holes in it. And it was ripped everywhere. She gave him shorts and underwear. But problem is that it's gonna get too small for him. So Izuku was scared, like any normal 4-year-old would probably be if he's in this situation. Oh yeah, I have another thing to say for you guys. You guys probably skip ahead for this, but I am probably not gonna be recording more stuff for a while because I'm going on a trip for a whole month, I think. And 1 sec. Okay, sorry for that. I had to do stuff. So back to the world. Yeah, I'm leaving on a trip and all that. I'll try and make videos, but I don't think I'm gonna be posting. Or I might. I'll see if I can. The Wi-Fi down there might not be good. And my phone Wi-Fi is worse. So, yeah, Deku was woken up in a forest, terrified, almost shitting himself. And Deku was walking around quietly. In this, Deku has the intelligence of, since he's 4, he has the intelligence of a 6-year-old. No, he just has greater intelligence in this. He has common sense. So Deku was walking around, terrified of everything. Everything was bigger than him. Much bigger than a normal forest. Here's an example. When Deku it was becoming night. Oh, no, I should do this first. Before that. So Ingo gave him a few items. Being like, I don't need these. He can just take them. Not really useful for him, probably. She gave him a notebook, a pencil. He gave him some of her old, like scrunchies, since she really didn't need them. She just gave him junk so he could teleport with her junk. She gave him, what else? Right. Can't think of anything. Yeah, I'll just say that's it. A few more items, but Deku just left them because he really didn't need them. They were literally just trash. Literally. So he was walking around and he found a berry bush. This berry bush had red and green berries. What the fuck? Did I scratch myself? The fuck is this? I scratched myself with my own finger. My fingers. So he found red and green berries. He ate them because he was hungry. But once he ate them, he felt like puking. I don't think a red and green berry is a good thing to eat. Deku thought of, hey, why don't I write down what stuff does and what it's used for and what it can be used for. And like side effects of like eating food. He drew. He's good at drawing. He mostly, the only thing Inko gave him was like pencils and paper and stuff like that. And he just drew. When he was done drawing the berries, the berry bush, what his side effect at the beginning, and the side effects that came after, which was nausea, I think it's that word. He puked for like probably more than 1 minute. He could barely see out of his eyes because they were watering, and all that was the side effects. Oh yeah, and he almost died. If he did not immediately just throw it up, he could have died. Deku, his little 4-year-old brain, curious about everything, tried and picked up the berries and brought them with him. Because every bad thing has a good use. So let me tell you a little bit about the planet that he's on. In a different solar system, in a different universe. So let's start about the planet, because you guys know a few things probably. Everything is 10 times its size on a normal planet. The sun is 5 suns, 5 Jupiters can fit into the core of the planet. Just the core of the planet. And that could probably give you a thing. 3 giant suns can fit into it. S-U-N, not S-O-N. And all of that. There's magic. Creatures are huge. Some creatures are what Deku's planet has, which is the size, and some creatures are just ginormous. There was non-mythical beasts here: dragons, manticores, griffins, phoenix and all that. So when Deku was, he found a leaf that was big enough to be a house, big enough to make a blanket for him, and he grabbed some giant vines, very hard to pick up, and used them and tied them around the, took him an hour probably to finish this, but he grabbed tons of leaves and stuff like that and made a little tiny cabin. Not a huge one, just enough to cover him from the rain, but not animals. So when Deku was walking around, he kept on doing that for years, taking notes, making little houses for himself. He found this ginormous tree. And he was thinking, he's about like 10 at night now. I'm gonna make a non-thing. He made a house in the tree. In the tree, not on it, in it. Inside it. No. He found a house like that. He found that. Let's just say. He found it. And started living in it. Deku's hair got longer. As long as this picture here. His clothes, he probably had none on right now. I need to help him with that. And all that. A silk farm. Yes, let's use a silk farm. Deku found a little area where there was silk. I'm making Deku know how to make clothes because his mother let's make it 2 years before Deku was teleported away. He had to learn how to make his clothes, make food, keep himself safe and all that. Inko would sometimes not let him in the house for like a week. What the fuck is that on my window? That doesn't get in my house like the flies do. So Deku was 5 when he got teleported to the place. Let's say. No, it was weeks. It was 2 weeks before he was teleported. So he was still 4. And all that, so nothing changes except that. Fucking stop. Ow. Oh, I popped my knuckles. So, all that. So, one day, Deku's about like 12 now. I know I'm doing some skips, but I need this. Deku was just living the life, searching for random things, experimenting on himself and other animals. He figured out those poisonous berries to him was a good bait. Other animals loved to eat them, but they were poisonous to him. So he used them as bait to lure in animals, and then used those animals to lure in meat eaters. Because meat eaters were bigger than the plant eaters. Then the carnivores were bigger than omnivores, and, what's it called? I don't know. Herbivores. There. So, I'm sorry I do that all the time. Oh yeah, where I was. Deku was walking around and he found a nest. This nest was pretty much he could sleep in it nest by laying straight on like a plank and still not touch the ends from the middle. So he saw an egg, a giant egg, but still an egg. No, not a giant egg, not a nest that he could fit in. Yes, it was a nest that he could fit in, but the eggs in it, was already hatched. It was like about 80, no, that's too many. 5, 3 giant eggs, 1 medium-sized egg, and there's the last egg that hasn't been hatched is a small egg. That egg, the thing on it could sit on Deku's arm. So Deku was sitting there because he was making sure that nothing came and ate him. But saw that it was abandoned. There was spider webs on it. It was breaking apart and all that. And the eggs, they looked like they have been sitting there for years. So when Deku got closer, and he was gonna try and pick up the egg, which he could, it started to hatch. And out popped a little head of a dragon. The dragon thought Deku was his mother. That's usually how it works. An animal sees the first thing it sees, it thinks that's its mother. Usually. That's why some animals stay close to its young. So the dragon started climbing on Deku and all that. Deku was fine with it, and he was amazed about how cute it was and adorable and beautiful. it had blue and black scales on it. Its eyes were white and all that, and it had a pattern of a lightning bolt on its stomach. So what's the time? Thank goodness that this is the first page. So what was it? So he brought it back to his house and all that, and was teaching the thing how to do tricks like a dog and all that, and listen. Deku experimented on himself. He is immune to poison. He's immune to some poison. But if it's a very high, very high, absolutely out of the grid high, it could kill him. But some poisons can't. Ones that used to can't anymore. There's still some that can. So when Deku was just, he turned 18 at the time. Not 18, it's too far. 14. The dragon was big enough to ride on. It could shrink and grow to its normal size and shrink to what it used to be, so it could sit on Deku's shoulder. So, yeah. So he was flying on the dragon and saw the first ever civilization. It was small, but it still had people. Another thing that Deku figured out is don't eat animals straight after you kill it. Wait like 2 days before you eat it. And the reason is because there's such thing as this thing called mana. Mana is in everything, living thing. Some creatures can eat mana and some can't. So they have to wait a couple of days before they eat it. If you usually eat mana and you can't, and you could die. If you can eat mana and there's no mana, you could still live. And if you can eat mana and there's mana, you get a power boost. Not a big one. You just get some more mana in your body. Deku figured out he could survive mana, but it was the hard way. Because usually when you first eat mana, it is a disaster. You could die on the first try you eat mana. So Deku waits 2 days, like 1 or 2 days before eating. There's still mana, and he still gets mana back, but yeah. Another thing is, how will you tell if something has mana left in its body? Is it still has color. What I mean by that is that the skin of its eyes, on its body, I mean. Deku, from living here in this planet, his skin has turned from natural color to white. And he usually uses that white to lure in prey. Some prey are smart enough to know if there was a being there that hasn't been eaten on and it's white, you should usually not go near it. But usually he traps creatures as well. So when he was going to the area of he also has mana, but yeah. Mana can be used to use powers that you have. All living things has powers, but not all living things can use it. So to say, some humans have powers, has magic. It's called magic when you use it, but it's called powers because you have it. Everybody has it. So, like, say fire. Easiest way to describe it. People can use it. But when you use it, it's magic. So Deku was walking to the village and he told his oh yeah, what the hair things was is he tie his hair up in a ponytail and all that in a bun to stay up, like keep it up and all that. So he was walking through the village. The clothes he's wearing are the clothes in the picture, except he doesn't have the gold and that. And it looks like a rainbow. What the fuck is it? A gay rainbow? There. It's almost a rainbow, guys. But he doesn't have the gold. And he doesn't have that stuff around him and all that. He just has a jacket, a shirt on, and shorts. Ow, my fucking arm. Hit myself against the desk. So, he was walking through the village and all that. The dragon was sitting on top of him, but from the scales, the black scales on him are usually near his face and all that, near the bottom of him. So he was covering it, and it looked like it was just another bun on top of him. So he was walking through the village. And the villagers haven't seen people in a while, so they were excited. The kids wanted to play with him and all that. Deku asked, "Hey, do you guys have a place I could stay for the night?" And they said, "Yeah, we have an inn. Follow me, please, to the inn." I'm gonna use a good voice. Deku found the inn and was gonna pay, being like, but they're like, No. You don't need to pay. We really don't need money for anything. This village isn't really known, so people usually don't need to pay taxes to live. Yeah. And all that. Deku was happy and all that. And he stayed for like a week or more. I don't really care. And he was playing with the kids. He actually started to, technically, almost live there. But he would leave sometimes. And not come back for like a month or two. Whole year. And all that. And then one day some travelers came and was surprised that there was a village here. The villagers didn't like that they were here because they knew that they would probably tell that the village is here. They asked the same question that Deku did, being like, "Can we stay for the night because it's near night?" And they're like, "Sure." And they're like, "You don't need to pay. Since we don't need to pay taxes, we really don't need money. So as long as we're not known to people, then we don't really need people paying." They kept it a secret just for that. And all they needed to do was just help around the village, and then that was the payment and all that. So, yeah. Deku came the next day, playing with the kids. They were surprised. The travelers were surprised because a well-looking guy in a village, like kind of small and all that, with good clothing. They went up to him. There were about 3 of them. Let me write down the names I'm gonna make up. So the female is Skylar. Male G is Okay, so I made up names. The only female in the group is named Skylar. The male, god kind of thing knight, is named Gareth. And the leader, the male leader is Loic. Loic. I'll look at that if I need it. Skylar, went up to, one and only, Deku. Deku actually changed his name. Let's change it. Alexa, what's a good male name?
According to an Alexa Answers contributor, Adam.
Let's just say Azuko. No, that doesn't. That sounds like a child's name. I can't think of a name. 1 second, guys. Okay, I'm just gonna change it to Aaron. Aaron. There. All the names. Shade. Let me make sure this is recording. Yep, it's recording. So, Skylar, went up to, Deku. I'm just gonna keep on saying Deku, and when he needs to give out a name, I'm gonna say it. And she's like, hello, I didn't see you last night. Were you, what's your name? Oh, my name is Aaron. That caught her off surprise because it was a deep voice. She's like, what are you doing in this town? Well, I live here, technically. Technically. Yeah, I sometimes leave. I left for a whole year, I think, last time. Children just playing around, Deku. Garrick. What did I say? Gareth and Lauren. I'm gonna say Gareth and Lauren. Gareth and Lork were mad because he was taking the attention. Izuku, on the other hand, I know I changed between names, really doesn't know the emotion love at all. So he was just talking. The three had to leave and all that. And they saw Izuku leave before them. And he's saying bye to the children and all the people and walks off to the forest. But the second they blink, he's gone. No sight of him. All the people just go back to doing what they were doing. The lady at the that met them being like, oh, do you guys need to leave now? It might be a good time to leave now. It looks like it's gonna rain later. How do you know that? Well, we have lived here for a while, so we know the system of the rain and stuff like that. Usually rains on these days. Okay. They left, and all that. But they went into the, direction of, where Izuku's house is. They found the giant-ass motherfucking tree, and, found the door. They knocked on it, questioning what this was, and out came Eric. Hello, what are you guys doing here? I thought you guys needed to leave. They were surprised and being like, yeah, we were just questioning what this tree the door on the tree was. It's fine. Some people do that. You're actually the second people that I met that have done this. Ooh. Oh, okay. Then we'll just be on a leave. Okay. Goodbye. Deku, was, asked his dragon to follow them and all that, and Deku wanted to see what they would do if they saw a hurt animal or saw an animal just laying there. So he told his dragon, to a few miles up to pretend to be injured and hurt. When they got to him, they started hearing cries of a dragon and all that. So they ran up thinking that it was supposed to be attacked by a dragon. When they got there, they saw a dragon hurt and wounded, which was illusion magic. And then Solon, S, let's just say S, ran up to grab stuff out of her backpack and help him, while GNL, Gareth, and Laura were watching, telling her, "Don't get near him, he might hurt you. Be careful. We don't want you getting hurt as well by whatever hurt him." While she was bandaging up his wounds, giving no flying fuck about what they were saying, and then Eric came out of the forest being like, "Wow, you two failed." She passed. They're like, "Failed and passed what? We weren't doing a test." "Oh, but you were doing my test. I wanted to see how humans would react to an injured animal." Come here. Let's make up a name. Alex. Come here, Alex. The dragon got up, shapeshift back to his tiny form, and the bandages fall off, and the illusion was gone. "Miss, what do you want as a reward?" "As a reward? Why? I don't need anything." "Oh, but you must need something." "I really don't think so. I have enough money to buy all my stuff I need. Food, clothes, weapons, a place to stay." "You never said jewelry in that sentence, did you?" "Why do I need jewelry? The only reason jewelry is there is to show that you buy something expensive when you could have used all that money to use on something useful. Unless the jewelry has a power to make a shield, make a weapon as a storage, I don't think I need it." How much money do you guys have? Now, since she doesn't want something, for you two, the punishment for losing. Can I actually use my reward for something? What is it? Can you use my reward to get them out of a punishment? I like you. You're a good person. And all that. Well, thank you very much. I will let you. I can't think of anything else. I'm just gonna say, Deku left them. I'm probably gonna fix the ending a little bit later, like I did to my other one. But I'm just gonna say Deku made the award that and let them leave and all that. The storm came and all that when Deku got back to his house. Deku used her actual award to keep them safe and just let them go because she wanted to. Use her reward for that and that only. Deku just went back to went into his slumber and all that. So I'm just gonna say goodbye, farewell, and I'm probably not gonna record it anytime soon. I hope you guys have a good summer, and I hope my trip goes well as well.